Dear friends, welcome back. Let us begin model number 4, chapter number 1, water chemistry. So, as the title itself indicates, water chemistry, it is very much important for us to know that the more information about the water. As you know already well, about water is nothing but it is the compound formed by the hydrogen and oxygen, and for human beings water was not merely a substance that sustained life. So water is the one of the most abundant and precious gift of nature to all the living beings on the earth, but also the most misused one. As you know very well, water covers nearly 3 by 4th of the earth's surface, and it is the second most important substance, first being air, is required to sustain human beings, animals and plants. It is known to everyone water covers nearly 71% of the earth's surface, but the hard fact of life is that about 97% of water is locked in the form of oceans, which is too salty to drink and for direct use for agriculture and industrial purposes. Around 2.4% is in the form of ice and glaciers, and around 0.3 percentage what it is in the form of rock crevice and etc. Hence, it is known fact that less than 0.3 percentage of water which is available for the human use. So water is not only required for the existence of the plants and animals, but also it is very essential for the industrial development. So water is a miracle liquid which is unique to the earth. It is often referred to as a universal solvent because many substances dissolve in it. So this is the property of it makes its pollution inevitable. Hence, health and wealth of nation largely depends on availability and utilization of water and its quality. For a common person, water is required for the uses such as drinking, cooking and washing. But for an engineer's point of view, so water is required for the many industrial processes and power product. It is required in boilers for the production of steam, which acts as the source of energy, as a coolant in many power plants and chemical plants, and it is used in textile, fertilizer, paper and many other such industries. Hence, each industries are required the most probably the pure water. Hence, we need to know that what are the type of impurities present in the water. Depending upon its quality, it needs a treatment as per its what we can say that its specifications. So hence, the water chemistry deals mainly to know that determine the specific quality of the water which are causing problems for various applications, whether the water is suitable for using the agriculture activity, whether we need to ensure that whether the water is safe for the drinking purpose, To know effectiveness of water treatment, the quality of water source may change over time to time, sometimes suddenly. Many changes can unnoticed as the water may look, smell and taste the same as it is did. So hence we need to know that about the quality of water is most essential by following some various parameters. There are millions of parameters who can do the assessment, but for our requirement, we need to do the analysis for to justify the quality of water with specific applications. Now, in this small chapter, module number 4, water chemistry, let us begin the content of syllabus what we are going to discuss. The first one is the introduction. Second one, we are going to know about more information related to sources and impurities of water. What is meant by boiler feed water and its problems. Boiler troubles with disadvantages. You will become to knowing that two important boiler troubles. The one is scale and sludge formation. Boiler corrosion due to the dissolved oxygen, carbon dioxide and magnesium chloride. The next one is sources of water pollution. What is the meaning of sewage definition? You will become to knowing what is the definition of biological oxygen demand and chemical oxygen demand, why it is to be required to assess, and determination of chemical oxygen demand for as per your syllabus. You will also come to know some numerical problems on chemical oxygen demand and also some of the important parameters of water analysis by chemical methods. The first one, sulfate estimation by gravimetric method, fluoride estimation by colorimetric method, that is SPADNS reagent method, sewage treatment. The steps involved in the sewage treatments are, first one is primary, secondary and tertiary methods, and you will become to knowing about softening of water and also the method what you are using for the softening of water by the ion exchange process, and also you will come to knowing one of the technique what it is used for the desalination of seawater by the reverse osmosis. So this is what the content of presentation what you will become to knowing in this water chemistry chapter. Let us begin with the introduction, as I have highlighted some of the brief introduction part of this water chemistry before the commencement of this one. You know that 71% of Earth's surface was covered by the water, and among this 71% of water was covered by the surface of, or covered by the water, then it is estimated that the less than 1% of water is available for our usage. Let us see in this graphical representation what we can highlight. So Earth's water, as I told you, that 71% is covered, but the availability of water for our usage is what, that is what, very less, that is what, 1%, less than 1% only. Since because our earth water, if you consider 100% it is available, among this 97% of water it is in the form of saline water or against the seawater, then you can feel that the remaining fresh water is available only 3%. In this 3% of fresh water, what is available, so within the 3%, 68.7% of water is held in the form of ice caps or glaciers, and groundwater is hidden in the form of what? That is 30.1%, and 0.9 percentage of other form of the water, and only 0.3 percentage of water is available in the form of surface water. In this surface water, if you feel it is fresh water, within this 0.3% of this available from the freshwater source, the surface water is what it is in the form of 87% in the form of lake or pond, swamps is 11%, and rivers are only 2%. The same graphical expression is also explained in this graph also as a depicted. 97% of water is form of the ocean, and the fresh water is available only in 3% only. And this amongst 3% of fresh water, 68.7% of water is what in the form of ice caps or glaciers, and 30.1% of water is what in the form of ground, and 0.9% of water is what in other form, and only 0.3% of water is available in the form of the surface water. Amongst this 0.3% of surface water, lakes are found in the form of 87%, swamps are around 11%, and the river water is available only in 2% of this one. As we come to know that how the water is distributed on the surface of the earth. So now if you consider the importance of water in human being, this slide is what very much important to know. You can observe that around 72% of water is available in human body. Among this 72% of water, in what way it is distributed in what organs in our body, that's what you can observe here. As you know that 83% of water is available in kidney, 79% of water is available in heart, 75% of water is available in brain, 86% of water is available in liver, 64% of water is available in skin, 83% is available in blood, 22% of water is available in bones, 75% is available in the muscles, 80% of water is available in lungs, 83% of water is available in joints, and 94% of water is available in lymph. So this is how the water is distributed in the human body. That is what water is the life of all the living organisms. So there is one saying, pure water is the world's first and foremost medicine. For human beings, water is not merely a substance that is the sustained life. As I explained, water covers 3/4 of Earth's surface, and it is second most important substance. First is the air, and it is required for the sustenance of the human beings, animals, and plants. For a common person, water is needed for many domestic applications like drinking, cooking, and washing. But for an engineer, water is required as a large quantity of many industrial processes and power product. So water is required in boilers for the production of steam. It acts as a source of energy, and it acts as a coolant in many power and chemical plants, and it is required to run in fertilizer, textile, paper industries, etc. So hence, it is what some important fact what I explained in the previous diagram. 71% of earth is covered by the water, but the hard fact is that of life, out of which 97% of water is available in the form of ocean or sea, and hence it is saline, it is not usable. And 2% of water is locked in the form of polar caps or the ice, which is also not available for use. And only less than 1% of available water is surface and underground water, which can be used for our usage. Let us discuss about why water is important for us. So all living organisms are needed of water, are indeed in need of water. It cleans our body. It energizes our body. It keeps our body temperature at the right level. It is one of the essential resources for our health. Now let us discuss what are the uses of water. Water is required in paper and pulp industries. Water is required in textile industries. Water is required as a cooling agent in cooling industries. It is required for boiler in boiler feed water. Water is required for laundries. Water is required for the chemical industries, etc. So now, what is the goal of water treatment technology or water chemistry? What is the purpose of learning this chapter for every student? This chapter is not meant for only for the engineering student. It is must be required for all the students who are using the water, or it is requirement for all the living organisms of humankind's, not only for the engineers, but non-engineers also must know the fact about the water, because we must know what is the purpose of making the water treatment to remove. First one is turbidity, second one is chemicals, third one is pathogenic contaminants from water sources in the most affordable and expedient manner possible. So that is what about the why we need to do the water treatment. Now let us begin. One of the important part of this chapter is what sources of water. As the slide I have depicted, you can observe that sources of water is broadly classified into three types. First, the surface water, underground water, and above the surface water. In surface water, further subdivided into two types, river and lake water. And surface water is also one more type, what you can tell, ocean and seawater. In second type of sources of water, underground water, you may get it in the form of well water or borewell water. And second one is spring water. Then above the surface of water, what you can have it is in the form of rainwater or water vapor present in the air. So the same continuation of that, the cheap sources of water fall in two main groups. The first one is surface water, second one is underground water. In surface water, we'll study about rainwater. We'll come to know rainwater, surface waters like river water, pond waters and lake water. Groundwater, we come to knowing more information about the well and springs water. As you can see that in the diagrams, I have mentioned the precipitation of rainwater. There is a seawater, surface water, and also you can have the underground water. You can picturize or visualize in this slide. And fourth one is seawater. The same continuation of that, you can observe the water sources model, which is beautifully drawn in this slide. you can observe that there is a rainwater is available, borewell water is available, well water is available, pond water is available. Rainwater is available above the surface. Underground water you will be getting in the form of borewell water, well water, and well water. Then on the surface of the land, that water is available in the form of pond water, lake water, river water, and sea water. So this diagram shows very clearly that the lake waters are large water systems as compared to the pond waters. Let us discuss about these resources in detail. So what do you mean by about the rainwater? It's the main source of water obtained as a result of evaporation of seawater. As you know that atmosphere has its own temperature. So because of that sunlight, the water gets evaporated in the form of water vapor. As we have explained in the previous explanation, the water is found 97% of in the atmosphere in the form of seawater. It is in the huge quantity. That water gets evaporated and in the form of vapors. Those vapors have been drifted by the winds or drawn higher altitude, where they are going to combine to form the small clouds. Small clouds coalescing to lead to form the big clouds, or I mean to say dark clouds. When the weight becomes intolerable because of enormous heat liberated in the higher altitude, that water falls in the form of the precipitation. That precipitated form of the water is what we can say the rainwater. The rainwater is the purest form of the water because it is formed by the vaporization or evaporation process. It is made impure by polluted atmosphere because when rainwater gets falls, it combines with various dissolved gases present in the atmosphere like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, etc. So hence this water becomes bit polluted by the atmospheric gases. We are going to say this is what the purest form of the water. As I told you, it contains considerable amount of industrial gases like carbon dioxide, oxides of sulfur, nitrogen dioxide, suspended solid particles, etc. So because of that, rainwater is what it is in the form of acidic state. Now coming to the second one is river water. As you know that this water flows over the surface of the land from higher hilly region. It flows through the different kind of terrain and dissolves the soluble minerals of the soil. Chlorides, sulfates, bicarbonates of sodium, calcium, magnesium, and iron are some of the major mineral salts present in the river water. So because of not only these, river water also contains organic matter produced by the decomposition of plants and small particles of sand and rock suspension. Third one is seawater. As you can see that seawater means what? Seawater is the most impurest form of the water which is available from the rest of the water resources. And continuation evaporation of water makes it continuously richer in dissolved impurities. About 3.5% of the seawater contains dissolved salts, out of which 2.6% of water is containing sodium chloride. Hence, the seawater it is having salty taste. In spite of sodium, It also contains bicarbonates of potassium, calcium, magnesium, and many number of compounds. Hence, what can say that seawater is the most impurest form of ocean water is the most impurest form of the water resource. Now coming to the fourth type of water resource, what we have lake water, pond water. So as you know that lake water, pond water, which is what standing in a specific area, it is not moving. It contains the few amount of dissolved materials which are available in the specific area of land, and it contains high quantity of organic impurities, and its chemical composition remains constant. As you know very well, the size of lake water is bigger, a pond water is the smaller. So this is what about the surface water. Coming to the next part, underground water, under the title of sources of water. Underground water is a shallow and deep springs and well formed. About 9.86% of total fresh water, which is in the form of the groundwater, that's what we are using for our usage. So this is what about the some important part of the sources of water from this water chemistry chapter. So a part of rainwater, how the underground water is formed. A part of rainwater which falls on the earth's surface percolates into the earth and continues its journey till it meets hard rock, where it may be stored or come in the form of spring. During its downward journey, it dissolves a number of salts, minerals, etc. Hence, the impurities are what more in the underground water. With this, the concept of sources of water, I would like to conclude. In next video lecture, we will begin about the impurities of water. Thank you.